The studio lights were already hot when Muhammad Ali leaned forward in his chair. It was supposed to be a routine interview, a late-night sports program, a relaxed conversation about legacy, titles, and memories from the golden age of boxing. The host had his notes. The audience expected jokes, confidence, maybe a poem. What they didn't expect was silence. Ali stopped smiling. For a few seconds, the room felt wrong, like something unscripted had slipped through the cracks. The host cleared his throat, ready to move on, but Ali raised one hand gently. "There's something I never said on television," Ali said. Cameras adjusted. Producers leaned forward behind the glass. The audience quieted, sensing instinctively that this wasn't for show. Ali looked straight into the lens. "People always ask me who was the toughest," he continued. "Who hit the hardest? Who I was afraid of." A few chuckles rippled through the crowd. Ali was known for confidence. Fear wasn't part of his mythology. He shook his head slowly. "I wasn't afraid of many men," he said. "But there was one who made me think differently about fighting." The host blinked. "Who was that?" Ali didn't answer immediately. He smiled, but it wasn't the famous grin. It was smaller, quieter, almost reflective. "Bruce Lee." The room froze. The audience murmured. Producers exchanged looks. This wasn't on the rundown. This wasn't a name anyone expected to hear on a boxing show. Ali leaned back. "I met him once," he said, "and in 10 minutes, he changed how I understood combat." The host laughed nervously. "You mean the movie guy?" Ali's eyes narrowed, not angry, but serious. "No," he said. "I mean the real fighter." The laughter died instantly. Ali leaned forward again. "People think fighting is about size, reach, strength. I did too, until I talked to Bruce." He paused. "And what he said to me, I never forgot." The studio was completely silent now. And Ali hadn't even started the confession, yet Ali's eyes stayed locked on the camera like he was talking to one person, not a million. "I was heavyweight champion," he said. "I had men my size, bigger than me, trying to take my head off, and I beat them with rhythm, footwork, timing." He tapped the armrest once, slow. But Bruce talked about timing like it was something else, like it wasn't a trick, like it was a weapon. The host tried to smile. "Okay, but come on, champ. You're telling me Bruce Lee could beat you?" Ali didn't laugh. He turned slightly toward the host. "That's the first thing everybody asks," he said. "And it's the wrong question." The audience leaned forward. You could hear the soft squeak of chairs. A cough got swallowed. Ali continued. "Bruce didn't say, 'I'd beat you.' He didn't brag. He didn't talk like those loud karate men who want attention." The host blinked. "So what did he say?" Ali took a breath, and for a moment the champion looked careful, like he respected the memory enough to get it right. "He asked me, 'What kind of fight are we talking about?'" Ali said. The host shrugged. "A fight is a fight." Ali shook his head. "That's what I said." And Bruce looked at me like I was a beginner. A few people laughed, then stopped when Ali didn't. He said, "In boxing, you win. That's your world, your rules, your distance, your rhythm." Ali's voice lowered. Then he said, "But take away the rules, and the fight changes before it starts." The host's smile faded. "What does that mean?" Ali's gaze returned to the camera. "It means there are targets I never trained to protect," he said quietly, "and ways of moving I never trained to read." The studio went so quiet the microphones picked up breathing. Ali raised his hand to his own throat for a split second, then dropped it like he'd revealed too much. "And then," Ali said, "Bruce told me something I didn't want to hear." He paused. "The fastest punch," he said, "is the one you never see coming, because you never trained your eyes for it." The host swallowed hard. "So, what did you tell him?" Ali's mouth tightened into a small grin. "I told him I wanted to see it, and that's when the real story began." Ali shifted in his chair as if he could still feel that moment in his body. "We weren't in a ring," he said. "No crowd, no gloves. Just two fighters talking." The host leaned in. Did you spar? Ali shook his head. No. And that's the part people don't understand. Bruce didn't want to fight me. He wanted to explain something. The audience murmured. Ali raised his hand again, quieting them without effort. He said, "If we fight, we both lose the lesson." Ali smiled at the memory. That bothered me. Champions don't like hearing that. He described how Bruce stood relaxed, almost casual. No stance. No tension. He looked like he was waiting for a bus, Ali said. And that's what scared me. The host frowned. Scared? Ali nodded once. Because real fighters don't look ready. They look available. Ali explained how Bruce asked him to imagine distance collapsing. No jabs. No rhythm. No space to dance. He said, "Your speed is incredible. But speed only matters if there's room." Ali leaned back. Then he showed me something small. Not a punch. A movement. He pinched his fingers together. This much. A shift. A timing change. The host interrupted, skeptical. "You're telling me a small movement could stop you?" Ali turned to him. "I'm telling you it could change me." Ali described how Bruce talked about eyes before fists, about decision before motion, about how the body reacts before the mind gives permission. He said, "If I enter your space before your brain finishes its sentence, your power never shows up." The studio lights hummed softly. Ali continued, "I realized something then. Every man I ever fought respected boxing distance. Bruce wouldn't." The host asked the question everyone was thinking. "Do you think he could have hurt you?" Ali didn't answer right away. Finally, he said, "I think he could have made me hesitate." The audience went silent again. Ali looked into the camera. "And hesitation is how champions fall." He paused, then added quietly, "That's when I stopped thinking about winning and started thinking about surviving." The host swallowed. "So what did Bruce say next?" Ali smiled. "He said something that stayed with me for the rest of my life." He leaned forward. "The fight," Bruce said, "is already over before the first punch. If one man sees the truth sooner." The room didn't breathe, and Ali hadn't even finished. Ali's voice softened, but the weight of it grew heavier. "Bruce didn't talk about winning," he said. "He talked about ending uncertainty." The host leaned back, hands open. "What does that even mean?" Ali smiled without humor. "It means if you remove doubt from your movement, you remove your opponent's future." He explained how Bruce asked him a simple question that night, one Ali had never been asked before. "What happens?" Bruce said. "When your strength arrives too late?" Ali paused. "I had never thought about that. My whole career was built on arriving first. On speed. On rhythm. On making men miss." He tapped the desk lightly. Bruce was talking about arriving before. The audience shifted. A producer raised a finger, signaling time, but the host ignored it. This was bigger than schedule. Ali continued. "Bruce said most fighters react to what they see. He trained to act on what must happen next." The host frowned. "That sounds like prediction." Ali shook his head. "No, it's understanding." He described how Bruce demonstrated with distance. How he stepped just inside imaginary range, then stopped. No strike, no threat, just presence. He said, "Right here your options collapse," Ali recalled. And he was right. My jab didn't make sense there. My footwork didn't help. Ali laughed once, quietly. I realized my greatness had borders. The host asked the dangerous question. "Did that bother you?" Ali looked straight into the camera. "It humbled me." He leaned forward. "Champions don't like being humbled. But real champions learn to sit with it." Ali described how Bruce never tried to prove superiority, never postured, never pushed the conversation toward ego. "He wasn't trying to take anything from me," Ali said. "He was giving me a warning." The audience was completely still now. "What kind of warning?" the host asked. Ali took a breath. "That rules protect us from reality. And when rules disappear, so do illusions." The host's voice dropped. "And what did you say to that?" Ali smiled again, this time genuine. I said, I'm glad we met as men, not enemies. He paused, eyes distant. Because if we'd met the other way, I might not be sitting here telling this story. The studio lights felt brighter suddenly, and Ali wasn't finished. Ali shifted again, as if the chair no longer fit the memory he was sitting in. After that night, he said, I started noticing things I'd never paid attention to before. The host raised an eyebrow. Like what? Distance, Ali replied instantly. Not how far someone is, but how fast that distance disappears. He explained how, in boxing, distance is negotiated. You step in, you step out, you feel each other. Rhythm buys time. Time buys safety. Bruce, Ali said, didn't negotiate distance. He collapsed it. The audience murmured. I watched my old fight tapes differently after meeting him, Ali continued. I didn't look at my punches. I looked at the moments before punches. The pauses. The habits. He tapped his temple. Bruce made me realize how predictable confidence can be. The host leaned forward. Are you saying Bruce Lee changed how you fought? Ali nodded slowly. Not how I fought. How I thought about fighting. He described moments in later bouts, tiny adjustments, a half step earlier, a pause that wasn't hesitation but awareness. I stopped assuming my opponent had to play my game, Ali said. That alone made me harder to touch. Someone in the audience called out, So who would win? Ali smiled patiently. That question misses the point. He turned back to the host. Bruce never cared about winning imaginary fights. He cared about removing blind spots. Ali's voice lowered. And he showed me one of mine. The host asked softly, Which was? That I believed my greatness made me untouchable, Ali said. Bruce showed me that greatness only means something inside the rules that define it. The studio was silent again. Ali leaned back. Bruce didn't threaten me. He didn't challenge me. He respected me. He smiled at the memory. And that's why what he said hit harder than any punch. The host swallowed. Do you think about him often? Ali nodded. Every time someone tells me size decides everything. He looked into the camera, voice steady. Bruce Lee taught me that the most dangerous man isn't the strongest one in the room. He paused. It's the one who sees what you don't. The audience felt it. Not excitement. Not drama. Truth. And Ali still had more to say. Ali took a long breath before continuing, as if weighing how much honesty the room could handle. You know what the scariest part was? He asked, looking at the host, then the audience. Bruce never tried to convince me. The host frowned. Convince you of what? Of anything, Ali said. He didn't sell. He didn't argue. He just observed. Ali explained that Bruce had watched him the way a scientist watches a system, not with judgment but with curiosity. He'd look at my shoulders when I laughed, my feet when I stood still, my breathing when I thought no one noticed. Ali chuckled softly. Man saw things about me I didn't know I was showing. The audience leaned in. One time, Ali continued, I asked him straight up, Why aren't you afraid of me? The host's eyes widened. And, Ali smiled. Bruce said, Why would I be afraid of something I understand? That answer landed heavy. Ali explained how most fear comes from mystery, from not knowing what's coming. Bruce didn't mystify fighting, he said. He simplified it so much it became uncomfortable. The host nodded slowly. Uncomfortable how? Because when something is simple, Ali replied, you can't hide behind complexity. Ali described how Bruce talked about ego as the slowest part of any fighter. He said ego needs time to announce itself. Reality doesn't wait. Ali laughed once, shaking his head. I was heavyweight champion of the world, and this man half my size made me feel like I was still learning how to walk. The audience didn't laugh this time. Ali leaned forward again. That's when I realized something important, he said. Bruce Lee wasn't dangerous because of what he could do to you. The host whispered, Then why? Because of what he could do to your certainty, Ali said. He paused, letting the words settle. In boxing, certainty wins fights. Bruce showed me that certainty can be dismantled without a single punch. The studio felt smaller now, more intimate. Ali looked into the camera again. That's why I'm telling this story now, he said. Not to compare, not to brag, but to remind people, he continued, that the most powerful lessons don't come from being beaten. They come from realizing how much you didn't know. The room stayed quiet, and everyone sensed Ali was approaching the heart of the confession. Ali's tone shifted again, this time heavier, slower, like he was stepping onto ground he hadn't planned to visit. After Bruce died, he said, people kept asking me if I thought he was really that dangerous. The host stiffened. Dangerous? Ali nodded. Not violent, disruptive. He explained how, in every era, there are fighters who fit the system and a few who expose it. Most champions operate inside rules everyone understands, Ali said. Bruce operated before rules. Ali leaned forward. That scares people who profit from predictability. The audience murmured, uneasy now. I watched how fast the story closed after his death, Ali continued. How quickly explanations were accepted. No curiosity. No questions. The host asked carefully, you think there was more to it? Ali didn't accuse. He didn't speculate openly. He chose his words like a man who knew the weight of each one. I think, he said, that Bruce was headed somewhere most people weren't ready to follow. He described Bruce's ideas about training the nervous system, not muscles. About conditioning the mind to act before fear could negotiate. About removing wasted motion not just from fighting but from living. He wasn't building a style, Ali said. He was dismantling limitations. Ali paused. And when you do that publicly, you make people uncomfortable. The host nodded slowly. Because it challenges authority. Exactly, Ali replied. And authority doesn't like being challenged by someone it can't categorize. Ali looked down for a moment, then back up. Bruce didn't want to fight the world, he said. He wanted to show it what was possible. The audience felt the shift. This wasn't about who would win a fight anymore. It was about why some people aren't allowed to go too far ahead. Ali finished the thought quietly. And sometimes, when a man goes too far beyond the line moves. The studio stayed silent. Because everyone knew what he was implying. Without him ever saying it, Ali straightened in his chair, as if bracing himself against the weight of memory. I'm not saying Bruce was taken out, he said carefully. I'm saying the world wasn't ready for where he was going. The host nodded, understanding the line Ali refused to cross, and why. Ali explained how Bruce spoke about evolution, not in mystical terms but practical ones. He believed the human nervous system could be trained to respond before fear, Ali said. Before doubt. Before hesitation. Ali smiled faintly. That's a dangerous idea. The audience shifted uneasily. Because if fear loses its job, Ali continued, a lot of control disappears with it. He recalled a conversation where Bruce compared institutions to old fighting styles, effective once, rigid later. Bruce said systems become predictable the moment they stop adapting, Ali said. And predictable things eventually fail. Ali leaned closer to the microphone. He wasn't trying to tear anything down. He was just moving forward. The host asked softly, do you think people misunderstood him? Ali nodded. They always do. Vision looks like arrogance to people standing still. Ali described how, after Bruce's death, people spoke about him in past tense too quickly, as if closing a chapter relieved pressure. When someone is gone, Ali said, their ideas get quieter, safer. The room stayed silent. Ali added, Bruce didn't need to beat anyone to be threatening. He just needed to keep teaching. He paused, eyes distant. And teaching changes people. The host exhaled slowly. So why say this now? Ali looked straight into the camera. Because time dulls truth, he said. And Bruce deserves better than a shallow story. Ali's voice softened. He wasn't a myth. He was a warning. The audience felt it, an unease that wasn't fear, but recognition. Ali concluded quietly, "Some men aren't remembered for how they fought. They're remembered for how much they made others rethink everything." The studio lights seemed dimmer now, and only one final truth remained to be spoken. Ali's voice dropped even lower, almost forcing the microphones to lean toward him. "You know what Bruce told me the last time we spoke?" he asked. The host shook his head slowly. He said, "Most people think power is loud. Real power is silent. Until it's too late to ignore." Ali paused, letting the words sink in. "At the time, I thought he was talking about fighting," Ali continued. "Years later, I realized he was talking about everything else." The audience sat frozen. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was testimony. Ali explained how, after Bruce's death, he replayed their conversations in his head. Not the techniques, not the theories, the warnings. "Bruce understood something early," Ali said. "When you evolve faster than the world around you, you create pressure. And pressure always looks for a release." The host asked carefully, "Do you think Bruce knew the risk?" Ali nodded without hesitation. "I think he felt it." He described Bruce as calm, not paranoid. Alert, not afraid. "He wasn't running from danger," Ali said. "He was aware of it." Ali leaned back, eyes glistening now. "There are fighters who change records," he said. "And there are fighters who change thinking. Bruce Lee had done the second. And changing thinking," Ali added, "is far more dangerous than changing scoreboards." The audience understood now why this confession had never been shared before. Why Ali had kept it locked away for decades. "People want heroes," Ali said. "They don't always want truth." He looked into the camera one last time. "But Bruce Lee gave us truth, whether we were ready or not." The room was silent. Only one final thought remained. And Ali wasn't done yet. Ali sat still for a long moment after finishing his sentence. The host didn't interrupt. The audience didn't move. Even the cameras seemed to hesitate. Finally, Ali spoke again, slowly, deliberately. "People always ask who would win in a fight," he said. "Me or Bruce?" He shook his head. "That was never the question." Ali leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. "Bruce Lee didn't come into this world to beat champions. He came to expose limits." He explained that most greatness operates safely inside known boundaries. Records, titles, rules. Bruce, Ali said, walked past boundaries like they were suggestions. The studio felt heavy now, as if everyone understood they were hearing something that couldn't be unsaid. "Bruce showed me," Ali continued, "that true power doesn't need permission, and that scares people who live off permission." Ali looked directly into the camera. No smile, no bravado, no performance. "That's my confession," he said. "Not that Bruce could beat me, but that he changed me." He paused. "He made me realize that strength isn't about domination. It's about awareness, timing, truth." The host finally spoke, voice barely above a whisper. "Do you think the world lost him too soon?" Ali nodded once. "The world always does." He stood up slowly. The audience followed, rising without applause. Not because they weren't moved, but because applause felt wrong. As Ali walked off set, one truth lingered in the air. Bruce Lee didn't need to fight Muhammad Ali to leave a mark on history. He had already done something harder. He made the greatest boxer alive admit on live television that there are forces more powerful than fists. And decades later, that confession still echoes. Because some legends don't prove their power in battle. They prove it in the minds they forever change.